Okay, today we're going to talk about the most frequently asked and answered question that I ever get or anybody ever gets concerning mechanical Turk, which is what can you make on them Turk? How much money can you make? Um, it's also the answer that's most often misstated, dodged, or even flat out lied about. There seems to be dozens of other videos, blog articles on the web, and books that will attempt to lead you down the wrong road. So let's get right to it then. Here is a picture of my dashboard. I've been turking for about 2 years. I really went at it pretty much full bore from the beginning, and I've done everything that I know of to increase my earnings to this point. I make around $1,200 a month on average from doing hits on them Turk. And I do not yet have the master's qualification. Things to be mindful of are that Turk work is somewhat seasonal. There are times that are a lot better and times that are a lot worse. Most of these kind of run hand in hand with the college academic calendar. Summer seems to be slower than the fall. The fall and spring are usually our busiest times. 2 weeks before and after Christmas, you're not going to hardly make anything at all. Spring and fall breaks, they fall off a little bit, but it's not too bad. A lot of Turkers that I know have daily goals, how much money they want to make per day. I used to do that, but I realized it wasn't very realistic. So now I usually have a weekly goal. Some Turkers that I know do monthly goals, and I'm sure that that works out pretty well for them too. Mostly the weekly goal for me works out because there's good days and bad days on them Turk, and you can't expect every day to be a good day or a bad day, so it sort of needs to average itself out over time. So can you do this too? Well, yes, but not right away. You can't just jump in and start working in the first week, expect to make, hundreds of dollars doing this kind of work. Like most everything else, you get what you put into it. You've got to sign up, you've got to accumulate qualifications. That takes time. You've got to get your approved hits number up as quickly as you can, above 1,000, and then 5,000 hits in order to get a lot of the higher paying hits. You've got to keep your rejection numbers as low as possible, especially in the beginning, because you're vulnerable to that in the beginning. You need to find other more experienced Turkers to help to mentor you and teach you tips and tricks that you need to do to increase your income. It took me about 6 months, I'd say, to get up to speed. Basically, it's a balancing act as well. There's a balance that you have to make between making money and keeping your rejection numbers right too. There are a lot of hits that can be questionable about how they give out rejections. Some requesters give out rejections at the drop of a hat, and some don't. Some like to give rejections based on the amount of time you take doing their hits. If you're too fast in taking a hit, that'll reject you, even if your answers are good quality. So that would make you tend to slow things down a bit. And when you slow anything down, you're going to make less money because it is increasing your turnaround rate where you can go from one hit to the next. So basically, you can go on one end and you can toe their line 100%. You can keep your rejection rate very, very low. But this may also cause your earnings to be lower than you'd like. To be honest, I've chosen to err on the side of greed, I suppose, and to make as much as I can. I'm not reckless about it, but I'm also not walking on eggshells either. If I get a rejection now and then, and as you can see I do, then that's okay, because I built up my numbers enough to where a rejection here and there is not going to kill me, and you will too. Basically, what you need to remember is that it's a job. You've got to get up in the morning. Many of the best hits post during this time. You've got to keep going all day long. You've got to be vigilant at keeping your eyes peeled for good hits, and you've got to work when the work is there to be done, because it's not all the time. Most of all, need to never stop learning. One of the best ways to learn about turkey and how to make more money at it, get better at it over time, is to be a part of an online community of workers. And we are an online community of workers called Our Hit Stop, and we'd like for you to join us. And that's it. Thanks a lot.